Hi everybody, it's February 9th, 2026. There is an odd relationship that people could have with details. The details of our life can be, they can enwrap us at times. Because once you uncover a detail that you've overlooked for so long, you start to place an overwhelming amount of priority or significance upon it. It seems like this detail is so small that you overlooked it, but once you notice it, it seems like it's such a much bigger thing than you thought it was. You start to blame it for all your problems. You start to blame it for the lack of love you have for yourself, or you start to blame it for sabotaging all your relationships. So when you finally remove this detail and you conquer it and you cut it out of your life, another two more details pop up. And you're wondering, like, what does this mean? Like, am I really this, or is my life, or am I really this flawed? Why are these two things here that I never noticed before? I thought if I got rid of that one detail, that problem, that it would be pretty much smooth sailing for at least a little bit, but now there's two more problems. And so the kind of cycle that we get caught up with details in our life is that we believe that this life is transactional, in the sense that if you erase a flaw of yourself, if you erase a problem in your life, that your life should consequentially become at least that much easier, or that at least that much more sane. And when this is not the case, when you start to become focused on details, this is a matter of life where you learn that just because you are doing the right thing, or the supposed right things, that doesn't mean that your life is going to be easier. And when you do the right thing for a period of time, your life becomes harder. And when your life becomes harder, I've learned to look at that as a gift. That is an opportunity to shine, to strengthen, to sharpen. And I know that all of us can't be strong all the time, and we have emotional limits, that we have lack of strength, sometimes a lack of resistance, to staying sober spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. But this is the life. The life of challenge is a life of love. It's a sweet life. When you become hungry for experiencing life in a positive sense, the work, the stress, the weight becomes a blessing, because you can feel yourself becoming stronger. You can feel yourself loving harder. You can feel yourself healing yourself once you get into the wisdom and knowledge and peace inside of yourself, where you learn to heal. So yes, uncovering details, problems that are details, and removing them from your life, yes, that's a good practice, but that's not the whole story. So that gets me to thinking about the shadow existence of opulence. And by this, I mean, in this life, in this sort of capitalist life that we live, everything that you gain has a thought attached to it, or a scenario attached to it, where you can imagine yourself gaining 10 times more or 100 times more. And so this simply means that every accomplishment that we make, every asset that we acquire, we can imagine 100 times more better. And so this kind of takes away from the enjoyment of what we actually have attained, or what we actually have. And the first step to remedying this kind of shadow existence of opulence is taking a good look at your past. Taking a good look, it's very simple. Taking a good look when you didn't have what you have now, that you wish you had more of. And it's not just being grateful, it's actually looking at what you have and being like, this is awesome. Before I had this, I was forlorn. Before I had this, I felt so lacking, but now that I have this is awesome. This is all I need for at least the foreseeable future. And so that is the first step to negating the opulent shadow that hangs over every accomplishment, or every every acquirement that we receive, or everything that we acquire, whatever. So the second way to deal with the opulent shadow, you have to start realizing that the wealth of your life is inside of you, not necessarily inside your inner dialogue, not necessarily inside the movie screen of your thoughts, but it's inside of you with your potential to create, your language, the function of your language, and how your words and your thoughts bring things to life. It's investing in your strength, and your mental strength, and your emotional strength to withstand stress, to withstand attacks coming from spiritual, personal, or wherever they're coming from. That is true wealth. The wealth of a person that is dynamic can create things that material things could never measure up to. So when you want to be truly living in opulence, the best thing to do is to develop yourself and be a portrait of what opulence actually is. And the last way I could think of right now to deal with the opulent shadow that exists in all of our lives is, if you want to get down to brass tacks and just talk about money, we can't escape the need for money. That's just the way it is in this life. We need money to buy food. Even though we may not understand the rationale behind this, we know that food should be free. Spiritually, we know that food should be free. But in the way that this world is, money buys things. Money gives us survival. And if you want to take away the torment of always wanting millions and thousands, 100,000, however much money you think of all the time, if you want to rid yourself of that obsession with more money, make your money do more work by tying it to things that are growing naturally, that are growing at a high rate, that are going to pay back into your character, that are going to pay back into the wealth of protection for your family. Tie your money to things that don't steal from other people. Tie your money to things that promote peace, that promote stability. And you can find that with little money, sometimes with the littlest amount of money, you can invest in things, in spiritual things, and survival needs, and they will surround you with comfort. You may not be in a multi-million-dollar mansion, but if you use your money in a spiritual sense with things that are healthy and holistic, you can surround yourself with riches with just a little bit amount of money. So I hope this helps. Thanks.